Hi folks. You know, throughout high school and college, I worked really hard to become a social drinker. I gave it my best shot. I really did. But it never became who I was. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against it, but I'm not the type of guy you're gonna find sitting at the edge of a bar sipping on a fine scotch. It's just not me. But you also know that I've immersed my life in the Japanese culture for at least 15 years, so I have a firm grasp and understanding of Japanese sake. Now here's the truth. I have sampled some of the finest Japanese sakes in the world. I have also sampled some of the worst Japanese sake in the world. And there's a lot of myths and misconceptions out there. So I thought I would dedicate this video to Japanese sake, going over the basics, a full comprehensive understanding of what you need to know. So let's get to it.
Okay, let's get 3 of the most common misconceptions out of the way. First, sake isn't rice wine. It's brewed similar to beer. When you're talking rice wine, you're talking about mirin. And mirin is actually a subtle sweet rice wine. The Japanese designed it with similar aspects to sake, but it has more sugar and a lower alcohol content. So keep that in mind. Second misconception, quality sake is never to be shot. Quality sake is to be sipped. Now, if you're drinking sake bombs or crazy concoctions that are developed at your local sushi spot, shoot away, enjoy yourself. But I'm referring to sitting down and enjoying a great sake, something of quality, a top-tier flavor and experience while enjoying a great conversation. But if you want to down it all at once, stick to Jägermeister. And third, for the record, it's pronounced sake, not sake. Sake, not sake. Now, there are 5 basic categories. I'm not going to get too deep into this, so let's just keep this simple. Hot sake, also named atsukan in Japanese, is a rudimentary form of sake where the breweries actually add distilled alcohol to the fermentation process, and it speeds up the brewing time to produce it quickly. As you can imagine, the quality is lower. Most, but not all, hot sake is considered mediocre. Cold sake, named reishu in Japanese. This is usually the good stuff. While there are literally thousands of varieties of cold sake, it's usually a higher quality than most others. Room temperature sake. Serving sake at room temperature is also known as hiya, and at about 59 to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Both top quality and less than awesome options are in this category. Nigori sake, also called unfiltered sake because it's coarsely filtered, which increases the thickness and the flavor. So compared to most other sake, Nigori sake is creamy, smooth, and usually semi-sweet. And flavored sake. These are blends designed for the West, American sake drinkers. While they're technically made with a mild sake, the manufacturers also add robust flavorings and artificial scents to cut down on the common sake flavoring and giving it a new twist like apple, orange, or peach. Now, here's a couple of good things to know. First, hot sake is designed to be consumed to the point that you're drunk. Although a few exceptions exist, 99% of hot sake is merely a basic alcoholic beverage to get you feeling good. And if you're drinking hot sake, you're focusing on getting a good buzz, not sampling a premium blend with a distinctive flavor. In fact, some restaurants purchase it in cardboard box containers and microwave it before serving you. I'm not kidding. Unless you're purchasing something really rare and totally out of the norm, don't take most hot sake too seriously. Secondly, like most alcohol, ordering sake at Japanese restaurants and sushi spots is pricey. And it's not a mild profit, it's a massive profit. Here's a good example. Hakushika Snow Beauty Unfiltered. It's a popular one that's sold retail at local liquor stores for a little less than $10. Now again, that's retail. But one sushi spot in Dallas, Texas, purchases it in large quantities for $6.38 a bottle, then sells it for $16 on their menu, and you pay the tax as well. So they easily more than double their money by just handing it to you from a refrigerator at their bar. Imagine taking a $10 bill, placing it in the refrigerator, and it magically becomes $20 when someone wants it. I mean, man, that is an easy profit. Woohoo! Okay, now, quick terminology. The cups you drink from, they're called chocos or ochokos. From time to time, you may see folks drinking from a small, square cedar box. They are named masu cups. When you toast with sake, the appropriate word is kanpai. That means cheers in Japanese. There are two terms you might see on a bottle, Junmai and Daigenjo. Junmai means pure rice. Junmai sake is brewed only using rice, water, yeast, and koji, which is a bacteria. There are no other additives such as sugar or alcohol. Junmai Daigenjo is the highest grade of sake. This is the good stuff. To qualify as Junmai Daigenjo, the sake must be made from rice grains that have been polished to near than half their original weight, meaning it's been really refined. Now, I know some of you are wondering, what's the best absolute top sake in the world? Well, depending on who you talk to, there's a handful of phenomenal ones to consider. But for me, two of the very best sake in the world are right here. One is named Hideyoshi's Flying Pegasus, and the other is named Daishichi Myoka Rangyoku. I purposely purchase several bottles of these blends whenever I'm in Japan, but they're not cheap, especially if you get your hands on them in America. In most cases, this one will run you about $300 a bottle, and this one can go as high as $700. I know, crazy, right? But when it comes down to clarity, flavor, and quality, these are my two favorites, hands down. But most of all, allow me to state this. Your favorite sake boils down to the same equation for all foods, colors, art, and music. Whatever appeals to your personal preference from your liquor store. I've met sake masters in the mountains of Fukushima, Japan, who swear that one form of sake is the best in the world. I've also met sake masters in the northern regions of Kyoto who claim that a totally different sake is the very best. After all opinions are exhausted, what does it really boil down to? Your preference. Enough said.
That's probably more information about sake than you were hoping for. But listen, if you have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to contact us. You can contact us through our main sushi class website at exploresushi.com, our website dedicated to tours to Japan at journeytojapan.com, or you can send me a direct email at carldrosa@yahoo.com. We hope you found this information helpful. Thanks for watching.